Hey, this is Mark from Go Easy Motorcycles. I am in the FirstGear booth with the brand manager, Mark Salvatore. How's it going, Mark?
Just great, thanks.
Good. Hey, why don't we go through what's new this year in FirstGear?
All right, well, let me tell you first thing that we've done all the bottoms over on FirstGear. It's probably been it's probably been close to 8 years since we've done any new designs. We've been focused on getting the jackets, really retooling those for about 4 years in a row now. And we're pretty comfortable with what's going on there. Time to turn the focus into the bottoms. And so you'll see, as you see the products, to show you the product, you'll find a couple common threads. Number one, and most importantly, the pants are now articulated in the seat and in the knee. So you just find yourself in a much more comfortable position when you're sitting in a riding position. Secondly, you have CE armor in the knees. And what's beneficial about that particularly is the fit, because you're allowed the flexibility of moving it 3 inches up and down or 1.5 inches laterally, or removing it completely. And that's important to remember, because when you're showing it to a customer and they try it on, the first thing you have to do is get them to sit on a motorcycle and see where it fits.
Absolutely, we do that.
Because they have to get used to feeling it. If they feel uncomfortable in it, they're not going to be as interested in it as they were before.
So really, I noticed just walking through earlier that the standard of the pants now has really come up to basically the new standard of the jacket. So
absolutely.
Materials, the feel, all the features. So
what we'll do is we'll kind of go through each style, but I wanted to give you those two common threads that are very important to what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, let's start. Which one going to start with here?
This is the HT overpant, and the first thing I want to bring your attention is that we're using 600 denier fabric. The prior model used a 300 denier, so it's really twice the weight. And the reason for that is just pretty simple. If you were to go down, the 300 denier is a great flexible fabric. It's just not going to last very long.
Right.
And to me, if you end up going down, you just need to buy time.
Yeah.
So you can stop without getting shredded. So we did it to 600 denier, which it's a fabric we're very comfortable with. It's very strong, but it is a waterproof, breathable outer shell. Okay.
And I notice it's very soft.
It is. It's very nice feel. But because it is a 600 denier, it's also going to push a little more heat. So we went ahead and included vents here that have a lockdown, a tuck-in lockdown. It actually almost creates like a little air dam. When you've got them open, it'll help push air inside.
Nice.
Okay. And because it is an overpant, you have to remember that if the customer wears like a 34 waist, they buy a 34 waist. It's designed already to go over the pant for them. So actually, if you measure the 34 waist on an overpant, it's more like 36.
Right.
So it's already designed and configured for them. The other thing we did is we took out the pockets. Because we've gotten feedback on HT overpant that people just don't use the pockets, and part of it's because an overpant's a little higher waisted. So what we did is we actually created a pass-through that allows the customer to get into
the regular pockets.
The regular pockets, which that's what they do, is they load up their pockets in their jeans and they get in.
That's real important with the commuter too, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I also want to show you just another feature. We added in a gaiter. So when you're out there and it's raining, no matter how tight you got it strapped down,
water tends to crawls
up. So this now puts you in a situation where you're not going to have to deal with that. And then we also put it with a silicone gel on the inside, so it just sticks to the
outer boot.
Yep. Also, just want to show you the armor and how it's placed, because that really makes a difference.
Oh.
So it completely comes
out. It's adjustable?
Completely adjustable. About 3 inches of leeway top to bottom, and about 1.5 inches laterally. So,
nice.
Like me, I'm a 34, I'm a short and a half. Buy a 34 short, it's too short for me. Buy a 34 regular, it's too long.
So this allows you to buy maybe either a regular. Hey, I want to go back to that zipper on that leg. I noticed when you peeled that up, that was kind of cool. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, real quick. This is the slider that's used, a YKK zipper, but the slider that's used is what we call a semi-auto lock slider. So when you see the key in the down position, you really can't move any of this pant. But when you flip it over, it just takes a couple ounces of pressure and it pulls it all the way up. What's really beneficial about that is, as we all know, putting the pants on are easy because you're zipping down. But when you go
taking them off,
when you go zip up, it's like pushing chain.
It makes it a one-hand operation.
Right. So
that's very cool.
So and then lastly, one of the things we know historically about the HT overpants is we have a lot of information on the liner. And when you talk to most riders, if it's not cold, they pull the liner out. And in the HT overpant, in many cases, a lot of them don't even put it back in, because if you look at the old design, it's several yards of hook and loop.
Right.
So what we've done is went back into and took a look at how can we do this better, how can we make it easier for the rider, and can we get more than one purpose out of it. And what we came up with is we actually came up with a pant within a pant.
Oh, nice.
And it is articulated in the seat knees just like the outer pant, so really it's a perfect fit. It attaches to the inside of the pant using a circumference zipper, which is no different than how we do it now with our
Right, that's in the Kathmandu pant and some of the TPGs,
Right.
so yeah, it's great.
But then on the bottom we make it very simple by putting 2 sets of snaps, front and back. And so since this shell material is a taffeta, when you go to actually insert it into the pant, it slides down nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're done. It's about a 2-minute process to put it in. Compared to the other one would take about 8 or 9 minutes to put it back in. So we're real happy the way this is coming
That's
out.
very nice. Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge seller.
And in reality, what you could also do is you can use this as a destination pant if you're hanging out in your cabin, around a campfire, what have you. So this price is $229.95.
$229? Great.
Men's and women's sizes.
And talls, shorts as usual for FirstGear. That's always been a real plus with FirstGear is the talls, shorts. What we got next?
What we have next is we have HT Air.
HT Air, okay.
And what we kind of put this up here to see. So you have a combination mesh and textile, and really the benefit of this is the breathability. So this functions as well as the prior pant, but there are some major changes. Again, as we talked about, articulated seat, articulated knee, and CE armor that's adjustable, just like what I showed you in the HT Air. We did put 2 sets of pockets here on this pant, and as you'll see, this is actually a pass-through to get to the inside.
Okay.
And then we have an exterior pouch pocket on both sides as well.
Oh, nice. So it's got both.
It's got both. But because the outer shell on this is mesh, it's not waterproof.
So, obviously, so we need a liner.
So we need a liner, and we basically did the pant within a pant. This is a waterproof, breathable liner. It attaches the same way as what I showed you in HT Air, and it's got the rubberized zippers on the outside with, by the way, the same slider. So whether it's a rubberized zipper or a standard nylon zipper, you get the same benefit on this slider.
Very nice.
Price on this pant is $229.95. Men's and women's. Size range the same. That's a FirstGear standard.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to do the Mesh Tech jacket, Mesh Tech pants.
Actually, you know what we're going to do, Mark? We're going to stop here, and we're going to go ahead and cut, and then we're going to just do another part here. So stay tuned, guys. You want to check out part 2.